Hi everyone, today I am making some flavorful Cornish hens in a way I have never done before. Let me show you. These are my Cornish hens, nice, clean, and dry. I'm sprinkling a little bit of salt on the inside as well as the outside, just a little bit of salt to start off my seasoning. And then for my base, I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and I am adding about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. That's extra virgin olive oil that I'm using today. And then I am going to be adding my favorite seasoning packet. That is some Italian dressing seasoning that I just added 1 packet. And then a hefty amount of paprika, I say about a teaspoon, as well as some red pepper flakes. And I am going to just give it a nice little whisk like that. And then I am just loosening up that skin so I can go ahead and fill each one of my Cornish hens with that flavorful seasoning right there, y'all. Get it all down in there. Yep. And then once I get this all added, y'all, I am going to just rub it in all over the top of the breast part, the back part. I'm just going to rub it all over, inside and out. Giving it a good bath in that seasoning, y'all, until I use it all up. Yes, indeedy. Now I am sprinkling on the rest of my seasoning. Now, actually, I'm using 2 packs of that Italian dressing mix. And here I've already started using the second pack along with more of the not smoked paprika, y'all, but more of the paprika. Now, here we go. This oven bag is big enough for about 8 pounds. And those 2 Cornish hens, they're about 5.5 pounds. Now I am adding a tablespoon of flour, just like the directions say, and I'm giving it a little shake, kind of coating the bottom. And then once I get it all situated in the pan, y'all, I just love carrots with my Cornish hens, whether it's just putting in the oven. I just absolutely love these carrots. So these are big chunks of carrots, y'all. I'm doing the big chunks because I don't want them to come out smushy. And that's about 1 pound of carrots that I'm laying on the bottom, and then I'm putting my Cornish hens. Look how beautiful that seasoning is on them already, y'all. I'm placing them nicely and snug into that bag. You can see that this bag will accommodate, yes, those two hens and some carrots. And I'm not leaving that seasoning, y'all. We're going to just scoop it all up and get it on the top of each one. And then that's not all, y'all, because when I say flavorful, I mean flavorful. So I am going to use up the rest, the second of that seasoning packet, y'all. That's Italian dressing mix right there. And I'm also going to be sprinkling on more, y'all, of that paprika. And I also add a little bit of parsley flakes. You can kind of see it through the bag. Now, this is the hardest part about the oven bag, y'all, is taking that little tie right there and tying it on, y'all, especially when your hands are still greasy. You're going to get that nice and snug and tight, and then once it's all tied, y'all, we're going to do just like the directions say, making sure that it's nice and snug. And we're going to just do what the directions say, make 6 slits into the top of the bag. And what I do is I place my slits kind of where like the breast part is, and then close to the thighs, so it'll be easier for me to check the doneness of it when I'm ready for it. And these are going to go into the oven, yeah. The directions say 350 degrees to about 45 to 60 minutes, y'all. And I normally cook my Cornish hens on at least 400, y'all. So I am a little bit nervous about that. So here into the oven that they go, and I'm wishing myself luck when it comes out to the doneness. Now, after 45 minutes, I did go ahead and check it, but they were not quite done, y'all. So I end up placing them right back into the oven and letting them bake for another 20 minutes. And then after that, let's say now it's an hour and 5 minutes of total baking time. They are done. You can't hardly see it, but it went all the way up to 170, and 165 is the doneness for your chicken. And here I'm just checking out my carrots. Now, they didn't get quite as done as I like, but they still had a little bit of more bite in them than I prefer, but they were still delicious nonetheless. And you can see there just how tender they came out after all. Look, you see how that bone just came out of there? Don't they look beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. I did not expect them to get this brown in that oven bag, but they absolutely did, y'all. You know what? I'm dipping it in that gravy, y'all. It made a little gravy tasty. Absolutely tasty. Y'all, I just have to go ahead and dig in. Look at that. Look at that right there. Y'all, it is time to eat. Absolutely. Thanks for watching, y'all. You know I hope you tried. I say it every time. Till next time. Bye-bye.